Hi everyone, this is Meg at Chasing Retro. Thank you for coming to my channel once again. Today I have a flip through for you of the 4 finished Mary Poppins journals. They will be listed in my shop tomorrow night, Sunday, October the 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope I have that date right. The last Sunday in October is what it is. I'm going to show you 4 journals. The first 2 are single signature fabric journals. The next one is a square 2 signature hardcover journal, and the last one is a tall and narrow hardcover 4 signature journal. It is the largest of the 4. I have named them all, and all of the names and descriptions, page counts, all of that will be in the description box. I hope that I have done the math correctly. Let's just say within 5 to 7 pages. I think my math is right. But yeah, we'll start with one of the first fabric covers. This one is named Jolly Holiday. On the front, we have a gold gilded frame that is surrounding a picture cut out of a vintage Mary Poppins children's book that I had, and I've just laid it on top of this delicate rose fabric, and then I've put a little ribbon rose flower, and I cut some silk leaves to go next to it. It is sewn in with a pale yellow waxed thread. The tie is some sort of a polyester blend with a raw edge and sort of a rum pink. The fabric itself is vintage fabric that I found at the craft reuse store several months ago. When I saw it, I knew it was perfect for these journals. The base of this is a Amazon plastic bubble mailer, so you can hear it. It's very crinkly. Let me measure it for you. 8 inches tall, 5.5 inches wide. This one has 17 folded pages, so that's 34 leaflets or 68 back and fronts. Here I have some beads that I tied onto the wax thread in the center. All right, the 2 fabric cover journals have fabric interior lining. So this is like a cotton moire in a dark mauve, and then I have some vintage eyelet trim. Each one of the journals will receive one of these folded folios. And this, I use the Echo Park or Cartabella, I can't remember. It's the Practically Perfect paper kit. I think it's Echo Park. But this is not from Echo Park, but this paper is. And then inside, we have a little horizontal belly band with some ephemera and journaling cards. Here we have a little pocket with 3 mini tags and another little journaling card. And then we have a horizontal belly band with a couple of, a card, and then I put some white paper on the back so you can journal. And this is just glued down as a decoration. So each one of the journals will receive one of these little folios. I had so much fun making these. This is not an original idea, the folio. I found someone who had made these for I guess it was a journal birthday challenge, and sent the person who was having a birthday who was making a Mary Poppins journal. Also, here is a card made from an Ideals magazine picture of a tea party. And then I sewed some lace on the side. Here is a double pocket, and I put cherry disposition and a couple of little, I don't know what those are called, little dots. I stamped a bluebird, and then this is the digital. It's a London Railway ticket. And then we have a sewing basket needle book digital that I sewed onto cardstock. This is from a children's dictionary, and this is some of the fabric that I received in Happy Mail from Nat. I used the 4 different patterns to make tags. Here's a belly band. I've used my little eyelet punch to decorate a piece of cardstock. And here, so these are images that were sent to me from various people, including Meredith, of vintage National Geographic photos of London. So they are throughout all 4 journals as well. This is the cover page for the children's book, the square children's book that you'll see later. And I didn't want to cut any of the pages off, so I folded them in. Here's a piece of beautiful sort of iridescent blue wallpaper, and I put some rickrack here, and then I did a side pocket. This is a digital that talks about a women's suffrage meeting, and then this is from a children's encyclopedia. I glued that onto cardstock. I put some pale yellow pom-pom trim here. Here's a picture of a tape measure, and then I took a quote from one of the books that I had that was like a junior reader type edition. And here is some punched blue paper. This is from a Disney songbook. So this is I guess an antique clip art that I found of an umbrella, but I could not find one with a parrot handle, obviously. So I found a separate clip art of a parrot, and I used my digital imaging program to make it look like that he was made onto the umbrella like hers. This is some of my favorite trim. I'm dwindling down to next to nothing left, but it's gingham, tiny gingham ribbon in bows sewn down to the chambray. Here's another image from one of the old magazines, and I sewed some double layer vintage lace on the edge, and then we have a little dangle. I did a flip out here using one of the black and white images from the Reader's edition. This is when the kids came home late. So you've got journaling space here and here. This is another music sheet, but this one is from someone sent me I guess a single music sheet of London Bridge is Falling Down. So I cut it into 4ths and used one piece in each journal. And here's some washi. Ledger paper, of course, because the dad, Mr. Banks, works in a bank, so I had to put ledger. Here's a picture of Mary Poppins that I cut out of a fly leaf from one of the books that I used. And then I have this little digital of a little bluebird, and then Mary Poppins on this beautiful damask print, and then I sewed some ribbon that I have that looks like a tape measure. This is an antique clip art that I thought looked like Mary Poppins. She's at least Victorian in style, and she has an umbrella, so I put her there. This is one of the full page pictures that I had to use in my stash of when the merry-go-round horses came off. It was such a fun part. I didn't want to cover up any of the story, so whoever has this journal can put photos or whatever you'd like, but I left the story there. A piece of vintage yarn braided trim. Here's a little cluster with a bluebird. And here is a picture from Ideals magazine with Parliament, the Thames River. And then here's another fabric tag. And this is one of my TV cards. The center has one of my cardstock double pockets, and then another tag with the fabric. This is the little penguin waders. I love that part. And then we have just a little ephemera piece, some Monopoly money, another fabric tag, and another image from a magazine, and I've sewn some lace to the top. And then we have a lace and fabric cluster here with a vintage trim piece sewn down. This is one of the cards from the paper kit. And then here's a vintage postcard. Someone has written on it. I don't have a date. The stamping is sort of worn off, but most everything from this estate sale was from the 70s and 80s. And then here is a picture of them getting their medicine. And I did add a little bit of glitter in these because Mary Poppins is magical. So I used glitter to represent that. This is one of the cards from the kit, and I turned it into a tuck spot. And this is a note sheet that I stamped a rose with some distress ink. I made a tab out of some light blue eyelet. I just got this at a yard sale last week. This is a digital page of a map of London. Here's another quote from the book, and I've just put it down on a piece of fabric. And then this is a ruffle that was made by Carrie the Paper Monkey. I have been holding on to it until now, but it matched these journals perfectly. So here's just a little die cut that I glued down. A little mini envelope that's sewn down, not sewn down, glued down. And here's another fabric tag. And then this is one of my digitals. I believe I have these in my Ko-fi shop. Just flashcards with happy words on them. And then another fabric tag. And this is glued down, but if you wanted to put something secret in these envelopes, you can bend it down and secure it. I just left it open as a pocket. I put little cherries here, and I stapled a little teapot here. A dictionary definition of umbrella. Here is a pocket made from Franken paper. I created this digital, just split the word up. And then here is a spoonful of sugar. It's actually only a half a teaspoon, but you get the picture. It was a Tim Holtz clip art that I've been wanting to use. I just did a little cluster here. This is not a tuck or anything. It's just beautiful trim that I wanted to use. So I put that on the edge there. This is an altered paper clip that Sarah the Crafty Journaler made and sent to me in Happy Mail. And it is holding on this little digital of a New Year's card, as well as a flip-up tag with some guards, royal guards. So these are mainly, as you can see, pink and blue and white with a little bit of green and yellow, but then they all have a pop of red. And that was kind of reflected in the paper kit too, so I kind of went with that and added red here and there. Here's some eyelet that's light blue. A fabric pocket. This is from a Taifu tea box that I saved, and I just put some notebook paper on the back for journaling. Another little bird. Here she is about to sing to them. This I cannot take credit for either. I saw this, I think, on Pinterest. It was just an image. I could not find a tutorial, so I just kind of winged it and figured it out. If you would like to see how I made this, let me know. I'll see if I can make a video. But it's glued down, and then inside here is just a kite-shaped journaling card. And these are just glued down to the ribbon. I've secured this one, but these are floating. And then in the last pocket, another fabric tag, a journaling card. This is another page from the National Geographics. No, this might have been from another history book that I have. And then the shaker card, one of the shaker cards that I made. Probably should put this in back because it's flat. Again, this one is named Jolly Holiday. The next one is also fabric, made from an Amazon mailer, and it is named Let's Go Fly A Kite. As you can see, there's little tiny kites peeking up here on the bottom. That's why I named this one that. And this is the scene at the end when she's leaving. This is laying on top of a light blue piece of fabric, and then I have a little crocheted flower with some leaves. Same fabric, same size, 8 by 5.5. I think that's what I said. Yeah. And sewn in pink tie. Another little folio. This one uses different papers. I put a different type of pocket on this one with 3 little tags. Just a fun little addition. On one of them, the next one that I show, you'll see that I ended up just tucking it under the tie on the front because it was a gator mouth and I didn't want to put anything thick inside of it. Anything else, I should say. This is a picture from one of the books and then a fabric tag. And this is a lace pocket that's a little more delicate than the first one. A double pocket, I did some butterfly punch outs and I put spit spot with some stamping. A bird stamp, London ticket. A digital that I put on top of some of the newspaper looking paper from the kit. And then another dictionary definition. And it goes in the Let's Go Fly a Kite journal. A butterfly belly band, and this is from Ideals, and I've just sewn some Chanel rickrack on here. This is a picture page from one of the songbooks that I have. This is when she was arriving to the house. And white eyelet with a dangle with some blues and pinks. Here is another image of her from the flyleaf page. Oh, and a little cluster with a British stamp. Rickrack glued here. Another storybook page. This is the I Love to Laugh scene. A little cluster with cherry. I created a little pocket on this wallpaper with another children's book page that I had of a chimney, and then the little journaling card. This is from a children's music book that I have. Sally Go Round the Sun, I think, but it had the little royal tin soldiers, so I put those in here. I think these are thumbprints. Here's a mini envelope with a fabric tag. I put Feed the Birds on top of this little guy, and then another storybook page that flips out. A little cluster here with her ruler or tape measure. Some glittery trim here. This is the London Bridge song sheet. I decided to put pom-poms on the bottom of this one, which I don't think I've ever done, but I like it. I'm going to be doing that more. Little butterfly here. A National Geographic page. Some beautiful mauve fringe trim on the edge of this cardstock. And here is a kite for this book. Sort of a muted color, more pastel. A sticker with some robins in their nest. This is some vintage brocade. Is it brocade? No, jacquard trim. And then a little suffragette meeting. This is a digital of the bank that Mr. Banks was supposed to work at, and then another card from the kit. This is some digital paper I found with Big Ben, and then I put the tape measure here. And here is another Ideals page. A poem by William Wordsworth about the Thames River. This is a journaling card made from one of the black and white images from the Reader. I sewed some floral ribbon. And here's that umbrella. I decided to put it at the top corner on this one. Spoonful of sugar. The center has Monopoly money, a fabric tag with some eyelash trim, Mary Poppins with some vintage pink trim, and then this is very old satin ribbon. You can tell it's so brown. I love it. And a picture of I think that's the London Bridge, I think. And then I did a little cluster here. The beads, 4 different colors. And then a fabric tag, the London Bridge shaker card and another picture from Ideals of a tea party, or just one person's tea. So I clipped this because it reminded me, see there's some needlework. It reminded me of the scene when the children were in the bed and she was sitting in that little armchair doing her needlework, and then they were saying that they were too excited to sleep, so she sang. A little yarn trim sewn here. A cluster with a bird. Tuck spot, another journaling card from the kit, and some stamped note sheet. I put a dictionary definition here of perfect. Little cherry blossoms. This is a fabric flip with some beautiful florals and lace and rickrack. Here is a vintage trim, almost like a pillowcase trim. And then I have a flip up tag and one of my flashcards and another fabric tag. Little teapot cluster there. 2 more journaling cards. Here's an eyelet tab. Here is the flip out. I did put the little text for Admiral Boom on there. A fabric pocket. I thought this looked like wallpaper. And then a Taifu tea journaling card with the lines. Oh, I put her on the back and then another quote from the book. And then here is some plaid ruffle. Here's a Franken paper pocket. And then we have a tag with a robin on it and a postcard with the Thames River. Tower Bridge. I think I said London Bridge earlier. I don't know if that's the same thing. I should know that. And the last pocket has 2 fabric tags and a TV card with Big Ben. This one is Let's Go Fly a Kite. Okay, the third one is Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And we'll see if Etsy lets me name it that. It might tell me, you need to break up that word. It's not any spaces. It may be the only title I can give it because it's so long. This one is hardcover made from a vintage book. I have attached a tassel to it with trims and laces and ribbons and colors that match the cover. It is removable. And then I have a removable ribbon to hold it closed. This is the gator mouth one. And here is one of those folios. I'm not going to open it, but it's just like the others. It has horizontal and vertical belly bands and a little pocket with mini tags. This one measures 7.5, 6 1/8, and it has a 1-inch spine, I think. I probably should have done 1.5, but you know, I just kept adding stuff. This one has 2 signatures. Each signature has 10 pages, so that's 20 leaflets or 40 back and front, which means 80 back and fronts in the whole book. As you can see, I did not want to cover this beautiful image with a pocket, and the same in the next book that you'll see. So there's one less pocket in these than I normally put in journals because I just didn't want to cover this up. I guess ideally I should have done acetate or something, but I was just so unwilling to mess with it. I just didn't want to mar it because it was in such great shape. I did put Cherry Tree Lane right here because a little child had written their name here, and I just covered it with that. We have a page from Ideals that I turned into a journaling card. And this is a digital of Big Ben. I love the colors. It's like a rich sunset. And then a fabric tag. And then we have a stamped bird on this little pink card, a little teeny tiny tag, and a London ticket. The belly band is the eyelet punch again, and then I put some of the embossed stationery that I have with the pansies. Put Jolly Holiday here. Storybook page. This is the Mary Poppins from the Flyleaf page in the last book that I'll show you. That's where these came from. Here's a flip out with Admiral Boom again. This is a glassine bag that's lavender. And then in here I have Monopoly money and a picture of the bank. This is from the Disney songbook. Nope, this is the London Bridge song sheet. And I put some light blue pom-poms. And here is the tape measure. And some more tape measure on the back. I stapled this little bird on this map of England. Here is Mr. Banks and Winifred looking at the letter that the children wrote to advertise for a new nanny. Side pocket. This is from another Flyleaf. I just cut that out. I made a little journaling card with one of the digitals from the kit, not digitals, the papers from the kit. And then this is another view of, this is a view of the cathedral where the bird, the Feed the Birds song. This is from the paper kit. This is a vintage postcard, not used, and a little journaling card that I sewed. Here's a circular pocket, and I did a fabric tag. I stamped some note paper. I thought these looked like cherry blossoms. And then a card from the paper kit. I love this vintage picot trim. And this is some more of that trim that I love. In the center, I didn't show you the dangles. There's a variety of beads in the colors of the journals. Then we have the Supercalifragilistic, and then Mary Poppins. And I don't remember what that is. Someone tell me. It's London though. And then another journaling card that I sewed, and then an image of the medicine with the glitter again. And this is a little cluster with lace, fabric, and paper. Here's the umbrella. Sorry, I'm a little off camera. This is a vintage doily that I cut in half and then folded, sewed, so there's a double pocket. This is from Ideals. And then on this side is a very large journaling card, and I put chimney sweep definition here. I glued in a little paper flip pad on this page. I glued the little spoon image here. I did a little cluster with the Union Jack. And then we have the suffragette meeting poster and this little poem. I don't know if this was a postcard or what, but it was a digital that I found in the public domain. It's quite funny. Little tongue-in-cheek humor about women voting. And then some umbrella paper, and then I dyed this lace with Kool-Aid. And then I did a little dangle with a rose bead. This is just a little label that I had in my stash that I thought went well with this page. His face. And then here's the kite. This is a pocket that I made a while back. I love it, and I just happened to put cherry trim on it, and it was perfect for these journals because of Cherry Tree Lane. We have a flip-up tag and a fabric tag. And then this is just a little tuck spot band, and I have this is the Feed the Birds shaker card. Here's Mary saying spit spot. Yep, this is the name of this book, and there's the song sheet with the title. And here she is saying it again. And this flips out. A definition of a nest. Tuck spot here using one of the cards from the paper kit, and then I stamped the sheet and put a fabric tag. This is a recipe for cherry Phillips from Better Homes and Gardens, and some eyelet trim. A little bird in a cage. I think it's one of the wind-up birds. Blue yarn trim. Here's the bird again. This beautiful rosebud print. And then here's this is not an old postcard, it's a reproduction, but it's still cool. And Thai food tea journaling card. A fabric cluster up here. This envelope is the only one of the 4 that I turned into a tuck spot. I don't know why. And this is from a geography book, Kensington Gardens. I did a little cluster here, and then we have 2 tags. Here's the scene where the kids leave the bank, and the chimney sweep scene. I put a vintage greeting card in the center of this signature, and it had the bluebirds and the roses. Here's the Queen on a stamp, and then a cathedral. A little cherry cluster. A belly band using some of that beautiful trim that I had. And I used a gravy kit to make this a long time ago. You might remember it. And then here's one of my TV cards. Fabric flip. Fabric pocket with that beautiful trim and a fabric tag. Another image of Parliament. And I did rosebud with some floral trim. And a definition of chalk for Bert, the sidewalk drawings. Little butterfly punch here and a pink ruffle bird sticker. This is just a little die cut frame that I had. I thought you might want to use it in your journaling. A flashcard and some more of the Royal Guards. And this is a flip. This scene was my children's favorite scene when they were little, when the nursery got a little bit too crazy and started doing things on its own. They would laugh. Here's another quote from the book, and some light blue lace. Another butterfly. This is an envelope that someone gave me that they dyed, and it has these cool rust spots on it. I put this picture of birds here, and here we have a flip-up tag. On this envelope tuck side, I did some more guards, grenadier guards, with a red ribbon. And here's the Supercalifragilistic again. And then a Franken-paper pocket, the picture of the cathedral, fabric tag, and the little sewing book digital on a card. And there's the last image. How fitting to end the journal with an image of them going to sleep. So cute. And I left the back as is. So this one is called Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. The last one is named Practically Perfect. It is the book that was sent to me at Carol at Lily Rose Blue. Carol, thank you. It was the perfect 4th journal that I needed. I wanted one more to make an even 4, and this was the perfect one. So I decided to make this one a large journal. This is the largest journal I think I've made in a very long time. Let's see, I think it's 2 inches. Oops. Nope, still don't have it right. Yes, 2 inches wide, 4 signatures. And it has a tassel with lots of pinks, purples, and a little bit of black because she's wearing black on the cover. And it's also removable. I tied it with this beautiful satin, sort of red-violet ribbon. The back is as it is. And then this is some really fun calico fabric that I found at a yard sale, and it was perfect for this book. This book measures almost 8.5 by 5 1/4, 2-inch spine. And this one has, each signature has about 8 pages in it. There's 4 signatures, so that ends up being about 128 back and fronts. Here is, you can see these are the little ones that I used to decorate. The flyleaf page that was loose is what I took out and cut apart. But I didn't want to put a pocket over her either, so they are remaining as they are. Fabric tag, Big Ben, and another fabric tag. I did Practically Perfect right here, which is what I ended up naming the journal. And we have a stamped bird and a tiny tag and a Happy New Year digital. And I did a little decorative stitching on that pocket. I did a cherry belly band, and this is an image from one of the books. This is from one of the Stories from Other Lands Disney books, and so that was the title page for this one. That's when she pulled the lamp out of her bag. A definition of a mirror. The Queen, and a beautiful doily. This is one of my favorite designs of doilies. I wanted to bring in a lot of purple in this one, so you'll see purple throughout, and a little pop of red. This is from I want to say it's from a child bookshelf series, and it's How to Make a Kite. And then a map page, a little circular tuck spot with St. Paul's, and a stamped note sheet. Here's some eyelet on some red paper with a dangle. This is a fun digital paper that I found of teacups. Here's a flip-up tag, a tea party image from Ideals, and this is another image from the storybook. There's a little cluster, fabric paper cluster with a teapot, and another journaling card, and then this adorable little topiary note sheet. Marjolaine Bastion, I think it is. Here's a little tuck band, and then we have the I Love to Laugh scene with some blue lace. This is just a little Tim Holtz die cut, I guess, boot button ad. Very Victorian. 17 Cherry Tree Lane. A TV card with Big Ben. And a little rosebud fabric tab. Here's a quote from the book. Winifred, where are the children? And on the back, there's the clock. It's not 6:04 on the clock, but we can pretend. And then here's the kites. Some of these got stuck, so you may have to kind of work with them because the point is so fine. They just want to stay in there. And here is a picture of a robin from a bird book. Here's a little envelope and then a flashcard and a fabric tag. A side pocket with Monopoly money, a note sheet with the little cherry blossoms stamped, and a tiny tag. Okay, this is a very, very old ledger sheet from 1872, I think. 1846. I have been holding on to this. I have about 10 pages that someone sent me in Happy Mail. And though it is about 50 years before this story takes place, it is officially antique ledger. So in honor of Mr. Banks, that is in here. It's very brittle. A fabric cluster, Franken paper pocket, and a fabric tag, and the St. Paul's Cathedral and a flip tag. Spoonful of sugar song. And there's the spoon. The little suffragette digitals are in here. The Queen. I'll put some of that floral ribbon here. Make sure I'm not out of frame. The storybook. Little bird on this adorable doily paper. In the center, I put some bluebirds that are on a vintage Get Well card. This is from a vintage cookbook, and it's the perfect colors, and it's tea. Well, it might be coffee, but we're going to say it's tea. Very, very strong tea. There's the little dog, Andrew. So cute. And this is just great. I love that it's a full page. This is from another flyleaf page. A little butterfly. Another butterfly. A little frame that you can use on your decorating. Journaling card. Some purple pom-poms. A belly band with that bow trim and Big Ben. Here's the other half of the ledger. This is a flip up tuck, and then this is a very old card that I received in Happy Mail, and it's this guy evidently wrote the history of England, and we got a string. That's okay, I'll leave it. Just a little journaling card with the fabric cluster. A little St. Paul's tuck spot, and I put the penguin tag in here. And little tuck spot circle and a journaling card. Here's the tea party scene on the ceiling. The umbrella. Here's some wallpaper. And then here we have the Supercala and the digital of Big Ben. And a definition of merry-go-round because of what's on the next page. Practically Perfect journaling card. This is tissue paper that I glued down and then sewed to manila folder. And then I did a little cluster with her carpet bag. And the London ticket and another guard. Tape measure. Here's the flip out with Mr. Banks and his board. Bank board, trustees, whatever. This is from the Nonsense Alphabet, and I put it in here because of the kite and the jam for tea, but also because Edward Lear is English, so multi-reasons. Here's Mary Poppins from the flyleaf and a bird. I thought she looked so pretty against the screen paper, and then I did a stamped sentiment. And here's a fabric flip. Jolly Holiday. A full page pocket with fabric, and she's in here, her little silhouette card. Here is another carry ruffle and dangle. This is another item I made with the gravy kit. It is, this thing is wanting to catch. It's one of the faux wax stamps. And in here I put some pictures of the bank. And then I did sort of a cherry tree lane looking telephone booth. Tuck spot with another tag that I made from the kit and some embroidered embossed stationery. Embroidered stationery would be very, very elegant and fancy. This is some really fun rickrack trim with like puffs built into it. And this is an old dollhouse ad, like a miniature catalog ad, and a definition card. Fabric pocket with the little soldiers, and here's one on the postcard. Here's the London Bridge sheet. This is the title page. I tucked this here in this envelope. This is an envelope that was sent to me also. Someone had dyed it with some tablecloth. We have a little card in there. Cherries, punched paper, another bird, some pink lace. Here is another postcard from that estate sale, 1975. And then Mary Poppins flyleaf image. And I did a cluster here with lots of different textures. Here is one of those folios with the little cards and mini tags. There's the mini tags on the back. And a large journaling card. Let me show you the beads. Lots of them, 2 on each string, so that would be 16 beads. Here's the nursery that needs cleaning up. Here's a nest die cut, belly band with a fabric tag, fabric tab, some vintage jacquard trim. I used some of the stickers from the kit to make a little banner or bunting. And this was sent to me in Happy Mail from Judy. Thank you, Judy. And it is a pocket made from a junk mail envelope with a window. And I thought this little girl kind of looked like Jane. So I decided to use this in this journal. And it has butterflies on it too. Okay, that is it. This was practically perfect. Like I said, these will be available in my shop tomorrow night, Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Thank you so much for joining me and staying all the way to the end if you did. I hope you love these. I hope they brought a smile to your face. If you're a Mary Poppins fan, I hope they did her justice. I really tried to capture her magic in these. I hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you next time. Bye.